So you can make a feature, you can ride it, but then it's got to last 200 runs plus.
Right.
That's it's actually really difficult. The work never stops. I get a lot of questions as to why I don't race it or do like, even if I just did like a full top to bottom run. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of reasons why. It'd be lovely to maybe not race it, but like, well, I wouldn't qualify, but it'd be nice to do a top to bottom and have a GoPro clip to put out or something like that. But
yeah,
if you think about what it entails doing a top to bottom run, it means all of the features have to be ready and all of the roads have to be closed. So on the day of practice, after everything's built, everything's tested, on the day of practice, we still have a giant list of jobs. Most of the roads still have to be open, so I can name all of the things that we have to do on the day, and it's such a long list.
Yeah.
You know, like even the first left-hand berm, that has to have a door through it. So we leave off like 7 timbers. So you have to put the 7 timbers, you have to cut them all, put them up, test it, take them down. Then you have to take them down and screw them to the feature so that the wood doesn't get nicked. And then the next ramp needs to be fixed to the floor because it's in the middle of the road. But then it gets driven over by a car when you've moved it to the side. So then you have to repair it. Like there's just a never-ending list of things. Like,
wow.
So we've got quite a big responsibility for the course as a crew. And then Phosphoro, obviously, who's a ride companion alumni, he's got all the rest of the responsibility. So yeah, it's a stressful, the whole thing's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
I really love doing them.
I
like every time I go and do them, I just think, wow, I could do more of these. Not too many. I think my lips would look worse than they are now, but it's, yeah, I do love doing them. It all looks easy when it's done. It all looks like you haven't even built that much. But when you're stood on top of a building and you know you've got to take a bike off it, it's actually very difficult to pick a spot where you just make a landing.
Yeah,
I stand up there and Christian will be like, here, and you're kind of like, you know, you hold up timber and then you're sort of like, yeah, I think we can jump to there. Everything has to be in a bit of an order because you can build a landing and then you can be like, whoa, that's way too far, or and then we have to extend the lip, or, you know, there's so much going on. So it's really important that everyone rides. And Tom, the last member of the crew, is amazing BMX rider. I've ridden with him for like 20 years. So this is a crew of people that have known each other for like decades and decades. Yeah. Which is also very important because it's
testing environment.
You're on top of each other, aren't you? You're like, I couldn't do it unless it was mates that I know are like resilient to rolling around in feces and just getting the job done.
That's why they call him Dirty John, isn't it?
It's like 2,500 meters up, so you've got to be real fit. It's high altitude to go up steps with a load of timber. And then we're joined obviously by Phosphoro's team, led by Diego this year, who was, you know, that you need people that can speak Spanish properly, not like the caveman, broken, useless Spanish that I speak. So Diego's unreal and does a great job at getting all the materials to each spot, which I look back on how we used to do it. It's insane. We used to have a compound at the bottom of town. Any of the races that we've done before, we'd have a compound, all the materials, and we'd build ramps and stuff in there, and then we'd like struggle with them on pickups to the spots. It's not the way to do it. Like the way that Phosphoro, Diego, Kerwit and all the team do it is so good. So we turn up, we've got a schedule, we build the schedule, and then we turn up and the materials are there. It's just the dream, yeah.
And that's just been over time.
Yeah, we're third year in now, so we're really efficient, and it's lovely going back there. There's all people that maybe year one, you're in like the dangerous neighbourhood. At the top of the track is supposedly like, it's not dangerous, but it's like the dangerous part of town. And year one, it's kind of an intimidating environment. And now we're just like mates with everyone. Kids are out playing. It's just like great fun. It's really good.
Yeah. So as far as the course went for this year, a few changes.
Yeah, big changes. Yeah, big changes. I never know if they come across in the live feed. What you'll find is that the race will just be more exciting, and you might not even notice a change. So like last year we tried to slow down the top steps because we always want to make a safe race course. Really, it became very apparent that people don't need the top steps slowed down. So we sped them up. We made the fastest first straight possible, which involved making like a crazy, we're calling it a slingshot. It's like a bermed landing. So you jump off a building into a bermed landing, and then you're just into these evil steps, and then a big road gap. The big road gap was probably the feature that caused me the most worry when I lay in bed every night, because it was like high speed.
Okay.
I realise I'm really comfortable. If you just stick me around 12 miles an hour, I'm fucking good to go. I'll jump off anything. I'll do whatever.
Jumpy.
Yeah, I just feel more in control of my bike at a slightly lower speed. I always feel it when I go to like bike parks like Davi or whatever. Like at super high speed, I just feel, obviously, the bike doesn't behave in the way that I'm like, I know I'm really good at a certain speed. That's all I mean.
Okay.
I know I'm really in control at a certain speed. And as soon as it gets faster, it's like, I don't know how it behaves over steps and stuff. And even in turns, I don't really like how a bike behaves at high speed.
Okay.
Quite weird, isn't it? But I guess I grew up in the Surrey Hills.
Exactly, yeah. You just don't do it.
All the turns are like, they're all tight together. And
Yeah.
So like generating speed and stuff like that, I really like. Whereas the race courses, these guys are like capable, and the speeds they're capable of going at. You know, you watch the sharp end of the field in any downhill race, it's so high speed. So we tried to match that with our first straight and the first turn, which is, it worked perfectly, but it was scary for me to test because, again,
did you have to hit those steps as well at that speed to get over the road gap?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what warm up do you have? I've never had less warm up.
Right.
There's nothing you can do.
No.
Like, what am I going to do? Ride down the steps quick and then brake on the feature? It's not, you can't even slow down. So, and then after the feature, you've got a left-hand turn that you have to hit, full commitment. So it's like, you just have to do what speed you think first run. And we're trying to make the speed that we're all thinking is quite high. So
it's race speed.
Yeah.
So man, that's gnarly, dude. You straight in. Yeah.
So I went super quick in first run, went pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
It was all good, but I did worry about it a lot, actually. I did. First straight.
I know slightly off topic, I guess, but like whenever I text you when you're out there, you're like, yeah, I'm nervous about this. I'm not sleeping. It's 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Because
like, you got jet lag, and then you're just like,
gnarly.
The frustrating thing is you can't. There's always that. It's all probably psychological, so it's just a build up. And I've got a lot of like weight on. I obviously want to just get over the feature and for it to be good, but I want all of those riders. I really want them to like it and think it's good.
Yeah.
If it's crap, it reflects really badly on us. As a whole, it's like we're not. There's a way of building stuff that makes it
is that
safe.
a process that you do the end of the race? For example, last year, you're like, oh, what do you think? Or
yeah,
a bit of rider
you
feedback
get to hear
that comes
it. You get to hear it in track walk. Yeah.
Okay.
You get to hear absolutely no holds barred, because I feel for them, because we've got used to it all. Even though I'm lying in bed worrying about it, we're still around that feature for long enough that you really know exactly how big it is. All these guys, I really don't take it for granted that they've just got off planes. They're jet lagged and they know they've got to race down this as fast as they can. And you can, when you turn up and the course looks gnarly, you're like, could really do with it not being gnarly. And then where does the finger go? BSI boys. So yeah, it's really important that, like, I mean, thank goodness I test it, otherwise I'd feel so bad. But then at least when you test it, you can just say to them, look, I went this speed. So there were certain features. As we moved down the course, we've covered the top bit. There was at Gary's. Yep. Gary's, we made like a diving board on the edge. Weirdly, that was something, we just wanted to make it bigger, because the years before it had been quite a pedal on downhill bikes. I just watched Valparaiso. Bernard's chain skipped. He didn't make it out a window. Race run over. That sort of stuff I hate. I hate the idea that races can come all that way and then just like annoying little mistakes can cost them their run. Even if it costs you a second, it doesn't cost you a whole run. You don't have to stand in a window and be like, ah. So we put this diving board on because we thought then you get a couple of cranks, reset, get two wheels on and off. And that was such a cool feature. Like, I know everyone hated it when they turned up and they're like, oh, why have you done that? But in my eyes, I wanted to see that kind of leveled it, because you had the diving board itself, you had to get 2 wheels on. I don't know if I'm going into too much detail about this, but it was kind of like Brendan's treehouse drop.
Yeah.
You have to get 2 wheels on, and then you have to.
And then
what do you do from there? You pull a little bit on your first run, but the fact that you have to get your 2 wheels on means that everyone's speed is kind of like regulated.
Okay.
You have to go a speed where you can get 2 wheels on, or you have to go. I wanted to see if someone would go off the top.
I was going to say, was anyone?
So that's the dream, is to make a feature that there's like a faster way to complete. It's all just a puzzle, isn't it? For these races, they got to work out the fastest way down each thing. So anyway, we built that, tested that, and it was mint. That was really good. That worked perfect. And then, and everyone loved it in the end. Okay. It worked out. It became a really good feature. But on the build-up, you obviously get a lot of like doubt, like, oh, that looks sketchy, whatever. It does look sketchy. Yeah, sketchy to build.
Yeah.
I literally had Tom holding my feet as I was like, you're just putting 4x2s out a window with a drop. There's no landing there at the time when you're building it. So you're just hanging out a window, like nailing planks. You nail one plank down, then you sit on it, nail the next plank down, sit on it. And then the next one was Frida's.
Okay, yeah.
There were obviously loads of changes, but that was the next one that was probably scary.
Was Frida's the one we went off the roof rather than out the window?
Which I've got to shout. I've got to give props to Phosphro, because actually the first year in Guanajuato, when it was like, it was pretty overwhelming when you turn up to a new spot, you don't know how long stuff's going to take. Phosphro wanted to go off the roof first year round in Guanajuato.
Right.
And actually that year we were like, oh, we can't, dude. We can't. That's too mental, because it essentially goes into a garden, and then it goes off another 20-foot wall. It doesn't come across in the videos, but it's really, really huge drop in altitude between the roof of a building and the road.
Okay.
You've got like a 3-story building, and then you've got the garden. It's so steep. It's not like a garden where you play football. It's like if you roll a rock, it goes down onto the road off a 20-foot drop. So
okay.
Yeah. So year 1 we were like, no, we can't. So year 1 we went out the window. Year 2 we made it like faster, and it went around through the garden. And then finally Phosphro got what he wanted. What he always knew would work. We went off the roof. And
it worked perfect?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Out of which one was the most nerve-wracking feature to test?
Weirdly, the first, which caused everyone the least...
Or the road gap? Or the steps into the road gap?
The steps into the road gap, weirdly, was the one that caused the most stress, which I don't really understand, but I think, again, it just goes to that speed thing. Just for me. For everyone, it was different. You ask each one of the boys on the team, we talked about it a lot, like which one would you be most worried about hitting? Because obviously all of them are capable of riding all these features. And some people will be like the wall ride, the mandatory wall ride.
Yeah.
I guess if it's your opposite way, it's a very peculiar feeling turning up onto a wall. I don't know. But it's different for every single person.
The wall ride is an interesting feature, isn't it? Because you make it mandatory that they have to touch the wall.
That's right. Yeah, it's like an urban racing thing. I think they try and have it in each round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just try and, again, level the playing field. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like it.
Yeah. And
we've got that weird design that really, really works somehow. It's just like a fanned.
Okay.
Basically, if you've got a 90-degree wall, and you've got 8-foot lengths of 4x2.
Yeah.
If you just put them up against the wall at lowering points, it creates that like cool, like looking fan thing. So, yeah, it's different for everyone. Like Christian was saying, he was probably more scared of the last jump. It's massive, but that was his one that he picked, and I think Tom and.
Is that a set distance now? Because I remember, was it last year you moved it?
Yeah, we had to.
Too big. Or did you go too deep? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it's really unfair if we... The thing is, you've got to make it for the whole field. And the whole field, they're all the fastest racers in the world, but everyone has different skill sets. And some people aren't jumpers, some people are. Some people on downhill bikes. Slavic's on a 160. Wynn has 2 giant legs that can power him into the last jump because he's not fatigued. You know, it's really different. So... Obviously, Slavic and Wynn would both be saying the last jump could be bigger. And then you've got other riders that are literally front wheel casing. Someone front wheel cased the last jump.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for putting it in a place that's like somewhere in the middle where Slavic and Wing can scrub it, and
someone else can.
Yeah, the person that cases it can make it over it. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it for like an hour long broadcast. But what a broadcast it was!
Yeah, it was a broadcast,
and what a race it turned out to be.
What's your vibe on the race day then? Like, where are you at? Do you watch? Do you enjoy, or do you just no?
So, okay.
Okay.
Hey man, what an episode that was. You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah,
we're going to put a video we think that our lovely companionship will love on your face.
On my face?
Yeah.
So
and
they
on
can't see me now?
Gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.